Hello, hello. Good Friday. Good Friday to everyone. Um, I have something to share with you all. I got a message today from a friend of mine who is also a victim, and she is ready to come forward and share her story. But for the time being, we're going to keep her identity private for her own safety and the safety of everyone else involved. So I guess we'll get right into it. Uh, I'll be reading this like in first person because she wrote this and sent it to me, and I'll just read it the way she wrote it. Um, my first encounter with Kevin was in my mid 20s. At that time, it was well known that you could go to him whether you were in trouble or not. A friend and I went together, and he told us to sit on the sidewalk while he stepped across the street to the bank. When he returned with money, he took us into his chambers. What happened inside was deeply wrong. He had us engage in things while he watched and even took pictures. At one point, another man walked in, a man I only ever referred to as Red because of his flushed cheeks. He simply smiled at Kevin and walked back out. I never even learned his name. At that point in my life, I had just gone through a divorce, I wasn't working, and my children desperately needed things. I made choices that I wish I had never been put in a position to make. I felt like I was doing what I had to do for my kids, even though it broke something inside me. Later, I crossed paths with Michael Clark when I began attending his church. At first, his messages to me were about why I hadn't been coming back to services, and he encouraged me to return. But the tone quickly shifted. He began sending me pictures and videos, making inappropriate advances, and pressuring me to sleep with him. I refused at first, but then he found out, through Kevin, that I owed child support and was facing jail if I didn't pay. He messaged me directly and asked how badly I needed the money. When I admitted that I couldn't bear to go back to jail, he offered me $250 for my payment, but only if I agreed to sleep with him. I cannot describe the shame and disgust I felt in that moment. I went through it. I went through with it out of desperation, but afterward I felt so degraded and broken. The very people who should have been trusted figures used their positions to exploit my vulnerability. They sent me vile messages and inappropriate videos and comments that only deepened the humiliation. There were others too. Deputy James Norris once approached me and asked me to engage in sexual encounters with him and a young girl, someone who could not have been older than 16 or 17. The fact that such a request could even be made by someone sworn to uphold the law left me horrified. It was another reminder that the people who should have been protecting me and others were instead abusing their power in the most disturbing ways imaginable. For a long time, I forced myself to bury these memories because I believed no one would listen, that speaking up would do no good, and that the power was always in their hands, not mine. I felt like a nobody, silenced by shame and fear. But the truth is this: what happened was wrong. It was abuse of power, exploitation, and manipulation of someone who was simply trying to survive and care for her children. It's heartbreaking to know that this kind of behavior is tolerated and even ignored by those who should be holding these men accountable. So, there we have it. Um, and there has been another video that's been shared on TikTok and Facebook from another one of the victims of Michael Clark, talking about the newspaper article this week that they put out about social media creators following him around and stuff. They were he was trying to Michael Clark was saying that the video that's circulating, one of the videos that's circulating that we censored and covered up, where he had his dick out, showing it to these girls that did not want to see it. We censored it and then posted it to spread awareness because he is still preaching. He is still working with women in recovery. And this is a problem. This is a real problem. Nobody wants to help us. We're going to help ourselves and we're going to spread the awareness. And then he made a statement in the newspaper saying that it was criminal to share it. Well, you're the one with your dick out. So Shouldn't the charge lie there? How many people did you send it to? So how many indecent exposure charges is that? We censored it. And we're spreading awareness about whatever pedophiles and predators, and we're doing it. We're not living like this anymore. We're not living like this anymore. So, you want to take me to court? Send me a cease and desist. Take me to court. Let me present my evidence in front of a judge. Let's do it.